here is Crissanka, and she is one of those people who is always pushing her own limits. She's done improv, she's taking a stand-up comedian class, she's just always pushing, and that's super inspiring to me. It's also inspiring that she works for a nonprofit that promotes education and awareness for Parkinson's disease. Crissanka.
I have this friend named Frida. Frida and I used to be really close. We were pretty much one and the same. In order to get to me, oftentimes, you had to go through Frida first. But I remember thinking one day, I think Frida is holding me back. I think I need to move on. As I stand before you today, I am free of Frida. But at any given moment, she's only about 10 hairs away from me. And that's because Frida is my unibrow. The unibrow. A beauty faux pas, if there ever was one. Unfortunately, my eyebrows grow in together. And I can also grow a pretty killer lady mustache. But it was my unibrow that caused me the most grief growing up. In the beginning, my eyebrows really didn't bug me. I was a bubbly, energetic, adorable little girl. Then I went to middle school. Then puberty happened. Then I wasn't so adorable anymore. I was a swarthy, hairy, awkward girl. And weird. I was always weird. Now, I know what you're thinking. Okay, big deal. You just get rid of the unibrow. But it wasn't that easy for me. The tough part was, my mother forbid me from plucking anything on my face and shaving my legs. She would tell me, you know, I had a unibrow and I had hair on my legs, but the hair just sort of went away. And that'll be the case for you too. So you shouldn't worry about it. And remember, if you pluck any hair, if you shave any hair on your legs, it's gonna come back 10 times thicker, 10 times faster. So don't do it. I was an obedient child, so I listened. But I was also a teenager in gym class, and I needed to wear shorts during gym class. So I started shaving my legs. And I'd use my dad's blue Bic plastic razor and soap from our bathroom that everybody used. But I realized that was kind of unfair to my dad. He didn't know I was using his razor that he used for his face. And it was also kind of gross. So I stole one from his stash, a fresh one, and used that for when I needed. Sometimes my mom would figure out that I have shaved my legs, and she'd go, "You shaved your legs again, didn't you? Didn't you? Let me feel your legs." She'd try to play like hair detective, and it was so scary. The look on her face was just so scary, and I wondered what she'd do if I actually did anything to my face. And so I didn't do anything to my face, but you know, you're able to cover up your legs, so I continued doing that, of course. Now, my mom grew up as a teenager in the 60s and 70s in India, and I don't know if that she was exposed to, you know, eyebrow maintenance or lip mustache maintenance. Even if she was, she's not a vain person, so she probably wouldn't have taken to it. And too, she had this magical melting hair that just went away one day. So she really couldn't empathize what I was going through as an American teenager. I recently asked her why she was just so adamant that I not do anything to my face, and she tells me, well, if there was really something wrong with the way you looked, I would have done something about it and I would have told you. But you look just fine. There was really nothing wrong with you, and I don't see anything wrong with you, and I didn't. And that was really nice to hear. I mean, if only all of us could see ourselves the way our moms see us, I think we'd have less problems. But I'm here to tell you that what was going on here, it wasn't cute, trust me. So here I am, 15, 16, 17 years old, waiting for this hair to drop. And they're not going anywhere. And if my hair could speak, they'd be saying, "We love you. We're not going anywhere. And we are in it to win it." In high school, I used to frequent Barnes & Noble a lot. And I remember going in one day, and I saw this coffee table book in the distance. It was titled something like Women Painters, and the picture was a painting, a portrait of a woman with a unibrow and a mustache. I made a beeline for the book. And I picked it up, and I thought, "Hello, best friend. You're like me." I read more about that painting and the painter, and it was a self-portrait by the Mexican painter Frida, who, as we all know, is famous for her artwork, but also the fact that she had a unibrow. And in reading more about Frida Kahlo, she was just so cool. She lived life on her own terms. She dressed differently, thought differently. She was just way ahead of her time. I thought I would use that as inspiration to rock what I had, because Frida rocked her unibrow. I think I'll rock my unibrow too. But in looking in the mirror each morning, I was never comfortable with the way I looked. It just didn't sit well with me. So I had a plan. Before I go to college, I was going to get rid of Frida the unibrow. Fast forward, it's the day before college. I'm hanging out with my best friend most of the day, and I have to be home by 9:30 that evening. It's now 9 o'clock, and two things have to happen. My best friend needs to wax my eyebrows and string my guitar, for which I only knew 2 chords in one song, but both had to happen by the time I had to get home. So my friend starts. She uses this waxing substance called NADS. It was advertised a lot on TV in the 90s and early 2000s, I think. And it's this brown, sugary, waxy substance. You heat it up in the microwave. You take a small stick. You apply it to where you want it. It dries, and then you rip it off. So she starts. And it really hurts, and it burns. But mostly, I'm having a lot of guilt because I'm lying to my mom, and I feel like a bad daughter. And I'm also wondering what's going to become of the 2-eyebrowed me. What is she going to do? And will my 2-eyebrowed self be enough for this world? So my friend finishes, and I take a look in her bathroom mirror. And my face is throbbing, my forehead is completely red, because that was my first time waxing that area. and I finally see myself with 2 eyebrows. That was me. I managed to get home that evening a little bit before 10. I managed to avoid my parents by telling them I'm packing for last-minute stuff for college and I'm going to bed. And the next morning, I continued to avoid what I've done here because I wore a bandana really low on my forehead. And I was praying that that bandana stays on until they drop me off at college and they leave. And so we get to my dorm room, we're moving box, suitcases, everything, and it's almost there, it's almost the end, and I'm just thinking, okay, bandana, just hang on, home stretch, baby, home stretch. My parents hug me goodbye, they leave, and I unveil myself, and I take her out for a spin. I attend campus events, I meet other freshmen like myself, and the best part of all this is that no one knows about Frida. But I missed something really important about eyebrow maintenance and facial hair maintenance, and that is hair grows back. So 2 months in, Frida comes back with a vengeance. I didn't really have the concept of like going to a salon and getting this sort of thing done, and my best friend was at another college, so I couldn't ask her. Fortunately, I made some nice friends at college who helped me out once in a while and gently encouraged me to go to a salon and get this taken care of, because they knew it made me feel self-conscious. So it would take me another couple of years to get there, but I did it. Now, I'll tell you, I expected great and magical things to happen once I had 2 eyebrows. I'm not sure what things, I just knew that life was going to start and it's going to be wonderful. Did I do amazing things? Not really, because there was so many other things to think about and be self-conscious about, like the rest of my body. And at college, I was pretty confused. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. I wanted to be successful, didn't know how that was going to happen. Was I smart enough? It's just all these questions about how I was going to navigate life that I didn't have the answers to. But there was a small infinitesimal shift that I experienced. And when I looked in the mirror, I saw myself. And that was a pretty good feeling. Now, I am 32 years old, and every day is a mini or big reinvention. I'm a work in progress, as we all are. And I really wouldn't be the person I am today had I not taken that small step to get rid of Frida the unibrow. And really happy about that, because I think I've grown to really love who I've become. A few months ago, I had my first child, and she is beautiful. But she has a small, mini Frida unibrow all her own. Now, I wouldn't change her for the world, but you bet your ass. Once puberty hits, I'll be waiting with a bucket of wax and a razor, just in case, and when she is ready.